Take one, action. Okay, good morning and Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. I'm Khairul Sunny B Ahmad Salehhuddin from Tawau, Sabah. Today, I'm going to present the topic of risk of COVID-19 infection upon air traveler at the airport during pandemic outbreak. My supervisor is Madam Azlin, and I believe I'm addressing this video to my assessor, Madam Azlina and Haji Zahir. As for agenda, I have 8 agenda to present today. Number 1 being the research background. Number 2 is the research problem. Number 3, we have the research objective, the ROs, and also the research question, the RQs. And on number 4, I have data collection technique. Number 5 is the respondents and participant profile info. Number 6 is result and analysis for each RQ. Number 7 is research limitation. And lastly, I have recommendation for future research. So I hope Madam Azlina and Haji Zahir can stay put and bear with me. Now firstly, let's go to the research background. Let me wear my reading glasses real quick. Okay, so since last year, the COVID-19 epidemic has dominated the front pages of news and media. It has changed the way we live as well as how we do things. Geographic point-related clusters have also made news since they contributed to the increase of COVID-19 cases. During this economic period, airline transportation has greatly extended international trade travel via the World Airport Network, WAN. Unfortunately, this ease of access has increased the possibility of contagious illness spreading from one location to another on a global scale. As if for slide number 2, we have the research problem. Now, majority of people who travel back and forth domestically still choose to travel via air. The implementation of SOPs at the airport are a mean to keep air travelers safe and reducing the rate of virus spread among them. On this sense, while the seats aboard an airplane may operate as a physical barrier and most passengers remain quite still, it is still possible that passengers in an aircraft will have little direct touch. Furthermore, there are also measures to reduce COVID-19 transmission among flight travelers. So now, for the research question and the research objective, I'm gonna bring Madam Azlina and Haji Zahir to Tawau Airport. That is where I conduct my research and survey in questionnaire. So with that being said, I'm gonna change up. Let's head to it.
Menyemai cita, mencapai hasrat murni demi mendukung nusa, merentas masa untuk berjaya, berdiri megah kita di mata dunia. Kepakaran dan amalan tiada tahan, inovasi tersedia, puncak ke angkasa.
Okay, Madam Azlina and Haji Zahir, now we are here at Tawau Airport. I'm just gonna give a short briefing about my research objective. I'm gonna read it out from my phone because I couldn't remember it word by word, okay? So research objective number 1 is actually to determine the level of awareness toward COVID-19 SOP at the airport. Research objective number 2, however, is to identify the risk of traveling during pandemic outbreak. Meanwhile, number 3 is to identify the challenge of raising COVID-19 awareness at the airport. For the survey and questionnaire part, I collect my data here from Tawau Airport. I was targeting 150 respondents from the air traveler in Tawau itself. I was trying to avoid just the normal airport consumer in order to get the most accurate data about the SOP implemented, because normal airport consumer wouldn't line up for check-in. They also wouldn't go into the aircraft itself. So with that being said, let's check out the survey question. So here is the questionnaire. I'm gonna provide the link in the WhatsApp so it gives ease for Haji Zahir and Madam Azlina to check it out. Basically, it's just a normal survey question consisting of 11 questions on this section, and on the previous question, it's just the basic information of the respondent. Okay, now let's go to the part where I read out the research question. RQ number 1. Is it safer to fly during pandemic with SOPs implementation? Through my survey, out of 150 respondents, on question number 3, I asked them, strict SOP prevent the spread of COVID-19. Through this statement, 63% or air traveler actually agrees. That made up 30.7%. And 65 other passenger actually says they agree. Through that percentage, I can actually conclude that the majority number of the air traveler out of 150 respondents, they strongly agree that the SOPs can help prevent the spread of COVID-19 at the airport. Furthermore, on question 11, wearing face mask is compulsory at the airport to prevent the spread of COVID-19 virus. This question is a trick question because wearing face mask is actually, like I'm saying, SOP help prevent the spread of COVID-19 virus. Meaning to say, through these two questions, we can conclude that the air traveler at Tawau Airport are very aware of the SOPs being implemented by the authority, and they also know the function of the SOPs. Now let's move on to RQ number 2. What are the challenges of raising COVID-19 awareness at the airport? Before we concluded that the air traveler in Tawau Airport doesn't abide the SOPs because they didn't know about the SOPs in the first place, rest assured knowing that through my question, on question 7, I said I am satisfied of the SOP implemented at the airport. Majority number actually says they are satisfied. Strongly agree, and on neutral ground, they know that the SOPs are being implemented in the first place. But then again, the challenges is not that they aren't aware of the SOPs being there. The real challenges is after the air traveler are aware of the SOPs there, they chose not to abide it. From my SOP awareness perspective, I can conclude that most people in Tawau Airport actually chose not to abide the law by choice, by preference. It's not the fact they didn't know the SOPs were being implemented by the authority. As you guys can see in this frame, in this video, it's the authority itself who doesn't follow the protocol, who doesn't abide the SOPs. And as for the usage of face masks, you can actually see behind me on real time. That's the problem. That's the real problem. It's not the awareness, it's the fact that people doesn't follow the SOPs. They actually know what to do, but they chose not to do it. Now let's move on to the last question, the RQ number 3. What are the circumstances should air travel during pandemic outbreak be advisable? So on my survey questionnaire, question number 1, I asked them, purpose of flying, and I lay out the answer like this: educational, medical, personal matter, and business. Oh, lastly, do not specify. 40.7% of them, of the air traveler, actually answer educational purpose, which is a surprise for me because UniKL MIAT, from my own experience, still have this online class, and then most of these people who fly from Airport Tawau already go back to their university and college. Well, different university, different preferences. The runner-up for the pie chart on 32% is personal matter. It could be family visiting, it could be whatever it is, personal matter. And 15.3% of the air traveler actually answer business purposes. And lastly, they do not want to specify. And the smallest percentage out of all these people fly because of medical purposes. Also, I feel like it wasn't what I expected, but then it is what it is. But according to me personally, for RQ number 3, what are the circumstances should air travel during pandemic outbreak be advisable? I believe it should be emergency reason only, because if people continue to fly without strong reason, means more people will fly. And when more people will fly means more infection for everyone. In order for us to control the spread of the virus, we need as much people to stay at home as possible. Mean less traveling for everyone. So I think that's enough field trip for a day for Haji Zahir and Madam Azlina. Now we're gonna continue for research limitation at the Maha, because that's where we're gonna go. Days are getting dark. Let's go. Okay, now let's continue to the next part. We've reached Subway. Okay, just put down the food, it's okay. Okay, I'm gonna read out research limitation. So for me personally, because I live in rural area in Tawau, I have bad connection. So I need to drive on daily basis to drive to township area in order to get good connection to conduct this research. I believe it affects the time taken for me because from my house to the airport, it's already long enough, and then I need to drive to the other direction in order to get to the township area. I couldn't stay home and just conduct my research there because the connection is so bad. So on daily basis, because I also work, so it's a win-win situation for me. Every time I go to work, I'm in the office, I get good connection, and then I was in class while I was at work. So with that being said, my research limitation is actually the time constraint and also the fact that I stay in the rural area. I have connection problem. Okay, Madam Azlina and Haji Zahir, we have come to the last part of my agenda. It's the recommendation for future research. My recommendation for future research is I hope that the students get more time to finish this project in general. Even though we are all facing different obstacles in different places because of the pandemic and the online classes. But then again, for me personally, I just wish if I have more time to do this integrated project, because I will be able to get more data, more information in, and will make a better thesis in general. Other than that, I think personally it's better to do this integrated project back in the campus because we have a lot of friends there, and team brainstorming just helps generate a lot of ideas. And the fact that I need to think of all the ideas, all the aspects of this integrated project alone, and just with me and my supervisor, I could say this: we can actually develop more ideas, generate more ideas if I have more people around me. So for this part, I'll just say thank you to Madam Azlin, my supervisor, for helping me a lot in getting this project done, and special thank to my cameraman, to my camera crew. Can you guys say hello? Can you point the camera? Sharik, point the camera to your face. Okay, that's my cameraman, and this is one of my camera crew. Okay, special thanks to them, and also special thanks to Haji Zahir and Madam Azlina. Thank you so much for your time and listening to my presentation. I wish nothing but the best for all of us. I hope we are all stay protected by the Almighty from this disastrous plague that is affecting us. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. See you guys back in campus when it's all good.